This is a painless wiring video. This is for the 67 through 1977 Ford trucks. There's a part number right there. There's 21 circuits. It's a very neat harness. It's very laid out, very modernized. It's all color coded to the factory color wires. The fuse block is here, and I'm sorry, if you take this cover right here off, it takes, I think this is the ATO mini fuses. They're very convenient. The old harness, which is this glob of mess right here, takes old glass style fuses, and they are very unreliable. They're not as easy to find in the auto parts store. One of the reasons I wanted the painless harness is because, you know, as you can tell, this harness is 50 years old, and I guess it served the truck pretty well, but it is in dire need of being replacing. So I weighed the new harness, well, the entire contents of the box, which I won't be using the entire contents of the box, and I'll show you why in a minute. This weighed 8.9 pounds. That glob right there weighed 8.7 pounds. Yeah, I know most people do not care about the weight, but I do, because, you know, my truck is kind of race oriented, and the truck's almost 50-50 front to rear, and I am concerned about every little bit of weight. What I like about this harness right here, though, is it's 21 circuits, first off. So it has the provisions for an electric fan. You do have an accessory circuit, which you could run a, I don't know, fuel pump, auxiliary lights, you know, whatever you wanted to. But the neat thing about it is okay, this is for the late model turn signal pigtail. It also comes with a pigtail for the 70 through 74 instrument cluster, and then the 75 through 77 instrument cluster. All these wires are the same color as your factory wires. Passenger side headlight harness, there's a driver's side headlight harness here. Then you have your heater harness. There is an air conditioning relay, which is right here. A lot of these trucks didn't come factory with air conditioning, but this is really nice, neat, compact. The later model trucks had a side marker lights, which my truck is a 68, so it does not have the rear side marker lights, but the earlier trucks at the back of the bed, right there on the side where the Department of Boost decals at, right behind there, the 70 and later trucks had little marker lights. That's what these are for. And then this here is the early instrument cluster harness. It comes with a new ballast resistor. This is a main power fuse, and then it comes with this neat little cover that snaps over that to insulate it from anything accidentally touching it. An assortment of grommets. These are just like the factory grommets that go through the firewall. It comes with new bulbs, which was really nice. There is the mounting bracket for the fuse block there. It comes with dielectric grease, an assortment of connectors that you may need. These are high quality connectors. A lot of the connectors, oh, and a lot of spare fuses there. A lot of the wiring connectors, the crimp-on style, are not very high quality. These are some really high quality terminals. You have a thick instruction manual. It's very well laid out. It goes through the different years and everything you'll need to know. I mean, literally, you can follow this manual step by step. And even if you're not familiar with wiring a vehicle, you can wire up any vehicle. And it's you know, if you're not familiar with reading electrical schematics or electrical blueprints, diagrams, printouts, it is the wire color, the gauge of the wire, and the wire number, which is on each wire. And it is, let me see if you can see it. My phone didn't focus so well, but the wire number and what the wire goes to is printed on each individual wire. You can see right there, each individual wire is very legible. And I've got some old eyes, so you know, my eyes are not the best, and I can read it. Like this right here is front turn signal. So everything is very laid out. It comes with flashers, and even the early trucks that had the flasher switch in the glove box, it's there. And then also you have labels so that you can label everything, and then a label for your fuse box. So the reason that I really wanted this harness, and the reason I chose Painless, is because, well, one, it's painless, it's easy to install. The reason though is I had some circuits that were not working. This is an old harness. A few years ago I unwrapped the entire harness and I rewrapped it in tape. What really made me nervous, and I think I have some issues now, is this wire, the covering is hard as a rock, and the wires are getting brittle. And it's just not safe. I have too much invested in my truck to for it to burn down. And you know, when you're dealing with you know, 50-year-old wiring harness, wires are rated for a period of time. The reason I know this is because I worked on aircraft, and all the wiring in an aircraft, it was rated for a period of time. And I guarantee you it was a whole lot less time than 50 years. So check out the Painless wiring harness, and I think you'll be very pleased with it. So I have got my old harness completely removed, and this truck is powered by a Ford Racing control pack, which that's what a lot of that wires is. A lot of that will get cleaned up. After I get it cleaned up and I start putting the new harness in, I will go over another video. You don't have to disassemble the entire truck. There is my instrument cluster there, which is all aftermarket. And so the control pack, the Ford Racing control pack, you know, a lot of that will get cleaned up. The only thing you really have to disassemble really is, you know, take your instrument cluster out. I took my radio out, and that's about it. I left the rest of the truck intact. I mean, you know, the tail lights are still in it. And then my headlights and all that stuff are still in it. So it was pretty easy. The factory harness routes right through here, which my harness doesn't. And another reason I chose the Painless harness is because it has a lot of extra wire with it. And if you want to hide your wiring, it's easy enough to do that. If you know you have an old truck you're restoring, rebuilding, whatever, now's the perfect time to do your wiring. And it's also a prime time to hide your wires. And being that the wires are all labeled and you have extra wire on everything, you have plenty of wire. And being that you have 21 circuits, most people are, or not most people, a lot of people are doing engine swaps and going with different engines. Being that you have 21 circuits, there's a lot of circuits that you probably won't use, like the coil, you know, the factory coil. Gosh, I can't think of anything else right off the top of my head. But you have more than enough circuits with 21 circuits. I'm sure you could add a power steering. I'm sorry, not power steering. Power windows and locks. I did get my wife to pick me up a Painless. It's a 3-bank Painless relay pack, and I did that for my fuel pump and stuff. And that part number for the for the Painless relay. It is a bank of 3 relays and a neat little bitty package, and the part number is PRF-30107. So if you do have a lot of modern stuff on your truck, Painless does offer a lot of neat stuff. They offer fan relays and stuff like that if you're going with a high amperage fan, which mine is. I think the fan circuit on this for the electrical fan is rated at 25 amps. Mine draws probably 50 amps. Probably more than that on startup. But anyway, so I wanted to do this little quick Painless video and tell you about it. I'm really happy with it, and I will make a part 2 video of this as soon as I get everything cleaned up inside the truck and start routing this. I'll make another video. If you have any questions, post them in the comment section. See you guys.